Father, we give you all the glory. Oh, be lifted above all the guys. We lay our crowns and worship. Oh, glorious God, we praise your name. We lay our crown and worship you. Oh, glorious God, we praise your name. We lay, Father, we bow before the throne. Arianos, for you. We lay our crowns. We lay our crowns. Jesus. Oh, be lifted above all other gods. We lay our crown and worship you. Oh, be lifted above all other gods. We lay our crowns and worship you. Oh, be lifted above all other gods. We lay our crowns and worship you. Oh, glorious God, we praise your name. We lay our crown and worship you. Oh, glorious God.
Good evening, good evening, and good evening, and good evening. Welcome to Something in Need for You on your favorite station, Impact Royal TV. Wherever you are in any part of the world, I just want to welcome you to Impact Royal TV and welcome you to Something in Need for You. Let me quickly say this, that it costs you nothing to share on your wall, to invite your friends and family to subscribe to this channel. It's educative, it's informative, encouraging, thought-provoking. There's always something in need for you to learn. And that's the more reason that you need to subscribe on YouTube, Impact Royal TV on YouTube, Impact Royal TV on Facebook as well. And very shortly you will have it on Instagram and also on TikTok. So we're working on that at the moment. Tonight I want to provoke you. I want to provoke you. And as I rightly said moments ago, that is about provoking you, challenging you, making you to see things from a different perspective. That's what Something in Need is all about. Something in Need for You is all about that. So tonight, I want to talk about a particular topic that mostly people tends to run away from. We don't, particularly believer, and particularly if you're Afro-Caribbean background. It seems that we do not really want to talk about anything called death. Anything called death, we do not want to talk about it. And that's what the other race, where the other race are much more better and well equipped for this kind of journey of life. So I call it, what is life? You see, the way you see life, will determine your style and your approach to life. How do you see life? Do you see life as a battlefield? If you see life as a battlefield, all that matters to you is war and war and war all the time. And if you see life as a pleasurable place, all that matters to you is joy and joy and joy. But you see, the way you see life will determine how you're going to approach the issue of life. It's amazing that as a Christian and as a human being, we do not want to talk about anything called death. And today, I'm not trying to be morbid. I am not trying to frighten anyone's life. I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable. But I just want you to know there's a reality of life. That death is part of reality of life. So how prepared are you? How prepared are you for it? And you discover that a great number of people, whether you talk to them as an individual in counseling or you have a one-on-one discussion with them, they never prepare for death. As a matter of fact, the believer Christian will tell you that I reject death in Jesus' name. Sudden death, you can reject. Dying before your time, you can reject. But no one on earth that's ever visited this planet that ever remained here forever. Even if you live as long as Methuselah with over 900 years, at the end of the day, the biblical narratives indicated that he eventually died. So how prepared are you for life? How prepared are you? And in that context, I'm looking at what is life. You find a very good approach to life from the biblical perspective. You see, in James chapter 4, I love the account, the way the book of James describes life. James chapter 4, verse 14. The author decided to look at life as a vapor, which means it will be around for a particular time, maybe in the morning like a dew, like a mist. He also said like a flower. It will show, it will blossom. Then after a while, the mist or the vapor will go away. It will evaporate, disappear. And that is a perfect description of life. In other words, you are not going to be in this world forever. You're not going to be here forever. So, how prepared are you for that life? And it's amazing that the moment you start to talk about the issue of death, people get scared. They become so worried. Which one is this? I mean, why talking about death? Why talking about... The thing is, it's a reality that you need to prepare for. And that is the essence of what I want to deal with tonight. That how prepared are you for it? How prepared are you? We've seen a situation that many people, people that died, that in their working life, they never made preparation for things like this. No insurance, no savings to buy their casket. No, nothing whatsoever. No arrangement. Even nothing was put in place. And death will not tell you when it's going to come. Unless maybe you're already going through, the sickness. Gradually, they've given you a date. But it's not many people that are opportune for that. What about if it comes from plane crash, accident, fire, disaster, flood, earthquake in Morocco, flood in Libya, wartime in Ukraine, fire, disaster, in different parts of the world, United States, Canada, you have it in Australia, have it in, calamities and disasters all over the places. So the question is, you as a person, how prepared are you? See, Jesus was so confident, he said, I'm going to prepare a place for you. He was not scared of going. He was not scared of leaving. And I just wonder why many believers are so scared. And obviously you know the answer. But that is not my approach today, where you're scared. My approach is to ginger you, to let you know that death is inevitable. It doesn't matter how many fasting, how many prayer, you can only stop sudden death, untimely death. But when it is apportion time, that's what the scripture said. So it is apportion for man to die. Hebrews chapter 9, verse 27. If it is an appointed time, there is nothing. There is no amount of mountain you can go that can stop it. You also have to bear in mind that death is not about age. It's not a composition of age. And death is not just about male and female. But I know there is this perception, there is this general belief, particularly among married couple, that most women always believe that the husband will die before them. But the statistics show clearly that they were very right, that very, very right, that the husband tends to die before their wives. But that's another topic for another day. Because if you fail to look after yourself, then you will die before your time. Many people die before their time because of negligence. Because they fail to take care of themselves, then death will take care of them. If you fail to take care of yourself, then you reduce your tenancy in this world. Then it means you are so much in a hurry to go. But you have to consider the fact that you're going to leave friends and family. See, a dead man or woman can no longer cry. A dead person can no longer feel pain. So, but those who you're going to leave behind, they will be the one feeling the pain, feeling the agony, going through the challenges. Vacuum has been created. Now, if you're a good manager, when I say good manager, that you manage your life, you manage your home, you care about people that are so special to you, so cordial to you, what arrangement are you putting in place for things like this when it comes? See, because you have to bear one thing in mind. It will surely come. It will surely come. The doctor that you depend so much on too will die. The pastor, the prophet, the bishop, doesn't matter the title, the herbalist, the imam, the alpha, put all of them together. No one has been able to say that, look, we have gotten the solution to death. So the first thing you need to bear in mind is that a life itself is classified into three perspectives. And I look at life, number one, a life is a test. It's a test. Because in life, you will be tested by major events. You will be tested by major problems. You will be tested by challenges and situations. We challenge you, will come your way. But the good thing about it all is that things you see today are for today. Because by tomorrow, they're going to be gone. And that was exactly what James was saying in James chapter 4, verse 14. That look, life is like a vapor. Life is like a flower. It will blossom in the morning. By evening, it will go down. It will die. So the moment you realize that life is a test, then you have to get one thing prominently clear. That nothing is significant in life. That is worth dying for. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That is worth dying for. Because at the end of the day, you're going to live it. And that's what takes me to the second class of life. And I look at it that life is a temporary assignment. It's a temporary assignment. When you look at it from the perspective of what James wrote in chapter 4, 14, then you have a clear idea that what is temporary cannot be permanent. It doesn't matter how long you live. It doesn't matter. It is still temporary. Because whatever has a beginning must have an end. And a very clear approach to that is what the man that have been, regarded as the wisest person that ever lived in the biblical days, Solomon, having acquired so much wealth, acquired so many, many things that men today will be looking for. Property, women, those are the things that men will be looking for. Men, driving at, running after. And he had them all. And if such a man can come to a realization and say, life is vanity, that life is vanity, that all those things are temporary. In other words, he was so convinced in his mind that it's not worth all the struggles and all the war, all the fight. And he came to a conclusion that you brought nothing to this world. And you're not going to take anything away with you. And that makes me to ask these fundamental questions. If life is a temporary assignment, why are you making what is temporary to be permanent? That you think you're going to live here forever and you're not making preparation for the other life that is going to be permanent. There's another life that is going to be permanent. You can just imagine my great-great-grandfather that have gone to that other life and they've never returned. So one day, I'm going to join them as well. You're going to join them as well. And everything you have done in this world become history. become history. So that should be enough for anyone to reflect and to think about wickedness, about nastiness. That do you really need all this? And that also to make one to think about this issue of corruption, amazing wealth, all over the places. Because look at it this way, if you have 4-bedroom house or 6-bedroom house, how many rooms are you going to sleep? How many rooms you're going to sleep? See, I have 3 bedrooms, and I discovered that the rooms that I do not use, I've turned them to like a junkyard. Just drop things there because no one stayed there. And by the time you go to that place, you just discover that a cobweb and all manners of things in that room, in the same house. In the same house. So it's a clear indication that all those stuff that we attach significance to, that we attach importance to, that takes us away from the reality of life. Solomon said they are temporary. And what is temporary is temporary. It cannot become permanent. And he came to a conclusion. And the conclusion was vanity. Vanity. So you also look at the fact that life is a trust. It is a trust. A trust in the sense that God entrusted life with us. And always bear this in mind. On whom much is given, much is expected. He entrusted life in our hands to look after, to nurture, to put right, to leave a legacy that others can build on. And that brings me to another thought-provoking question. If the way this generation is going, what do you think is going to become of this world they're going to leave behind for their own children's generation? What's going to become of that world? Because the way a lot of people behave these days, they behave as if they own it. They behave as if they have the tenancy or occupancy of the world for life. The land that you're fighting on, land is older than you, and you will leave the same land and go. Maybe perhaps we've not been thinking about that. Everything that is in this world is older than humanity. It's older than humanity. And for that reason, you will leave them here and you will go. So you can see basically the perspective I've been looking at it, that life is a trust. Life is a temporary assignment. And above all, life is a test. It is a test. So you're going through your test and your assignment and your trust, you need to bear in mind that whatever you possess, you have it in this world as a gift. None of those things you're going to take away with you. As a matter of fact, the Bible made us to know in Genesis chapter 1 verse 28, allowed us to understand that you are just a caretaker, stewardship, to look after God's resources. So they are not permanent. They are not things that you're going to take away with you. So that now brings me to another serious challenges. That having gone through all that, having realized that life is a mist, is a vapor. That, and it's a flower that will blossom for a while, then later in the evening it will wither away. How prepared are you for your own burial, your own funeral? How prepared are you? Because many Christians, particularly many black people, do not have plan for things like that. It's a shame that when death now visit, people will be carrying, plates all around, asking for money to bury. Now guess what? This same individual in his lifetime or our lifetime, you do not give such person a support. People will not contribute money for you to start business, but they can contribute money for you to bury you when you die. But they cannot contribute money for you to rent apartment, to buy a better car, to live a better life, to change your clothes and change your shoes and seek, and to transform your life, unless there is something in it for them. Unless there is something in it for them. It's a pity the young man that passed away, the musician, the artist that passed away at the age of 27. And you think that, you have just, justice for so and so, justice for so and so. There are great many number of these bloggers and people, they're using his death to promote their own business. To promote their own business. So while he was alive, what have they done? What response? What support? So that needs to let you know that you are in this world all alone, and when you go, you will go alone. You will go alone. But how prepared are you for the next level? For the next level. You see, when you want to travel abroad, you'll be so excited the moment you get your visa, then you buy your ticket. You'll be so excited, celebrated that you want to travel abroad, you want to go. It's the same way with death. The only good thing about you traveling abroad is the fact that you're traveling abroad to return back. But death, you see, the moment you leave this world, you're returning, but there is no returning back again. You're returning home. In the sense that you came from that. That's where you came from. You're a visitor in this world. Then your time of occupancy or tenancy expires. So the next thing is you need to go. Your British or American passport or European passport has no relevance. Has no relevance. Now, whatever has been making you to become so arrogant and proudly in your style, in your approach, in your manners, in your countenance, reflect on it. That life is temporary. No permanent stay in this world. So how prepared are you? Then you have to reflect on that statement. How prepared are you? But let me tell you something. Death is not a composition of age. Some died younger, some died, older. Some died at infant. Some people died the same day they were born. Whereas some people live over 100 years. But you also have to understand that along the line, you have a role to play. You have a role to play. If you want to live long, you have a role to play. If you want to live well, You have a role to play. But if you want to live short, you also have a role to play. And that role is choose not to look after your health. You will die before your time. That role is be careless. Then you will die before your time. A lot of people whose life get terminated, it's not because God decided to terminate their life. No. No. There's some that are self-inflicted. That you caused it. You made it happen by yourself. But whether you made it happen or you go at the right time that you were supposed to go, but one thing is so certain. You do not have the permanent stay of this world. We are going to go one day. So I conclude with what Job said. In Job chapter 8 verse 9. He said we are but of yesterday and know nothing, because our days are upon the earth as a shadow. And Psalm 90 verse 4 also says 1,000 years in his sight is just like yesterday. No wonder David said, help me to know that I'm here but for a moment. Help me to know that I'm here but for a moment. So beloved, that insurance, go and take it up. Yeah, you can start to pay for your own burial arrangement so that you do not put burden on your children, on your friends, on your family. You see, when I had COVID, during the pandemic period, I thought I was going to die. And I started to put a thing in perspective, how I want to be buried. And I wrote everything. I put it in right way, including the casket, the cemetery that I prefer, then who is to preach. So what kind of hymns, what kind of color. I decided to put everything in perspective, that if it happens, fine. So I challenge you one more time. How prepared are you? How prepared are you? Knowing fully well that life is not just about bread and butter. Life is not just about, having the pleasure. Life is not just about how many cars and houses that you have. No. There is more to life than the way you pursue it. There is more to life. So that's what I have come to share with you today. That Hebrew 9:27 said it is a portion for man to die. It doesn't matter how long you live. No one is going to remain in this world forever. So act well your role, your part, and make sure that you do the needful. Until such a time I come your way again, God bless you and enjoy the rest of the evening. This is something in need for you. My name is Dr. Tayo OGUNMEFUN. Have a nice evening.